distinct privilege of being the executive director over at the Leadership Center on the edge of town. A lot of you know it for the pool. It's about what everyone knows it for. Some people know it because their churches have retreats there, but it's actually really, really cool. It is a really neat retreat and conference center. It's a nonprofit. We serve people from all over the world. We serve about 55,000 people every year. And we serve kids from every county in Nebraska, every state in the country. And this year, to date, we have had guests from 27 other countries in our building. Actually, we have a Chinese delegation with us this weekend. They are visiting Preferred Popcorn and touring their areas, and they're staying with us. We get to cook them breakfast, and they really, really like American bacon. They told us that several times today, so that was awesome. I am just super happy they liked our food, and they liked our accommodations. What's really neat, though, is I get to do something that I am really passionate about every day. I grew up, got a job, and it's what I love. I do what I love every day. I am the boss, but that does not make me exempt from cooking meals or cleaning toilets or making beds, decorating for events, doing the billing, and saying I'm sorry when we make mistakes. But it also gives me the distinct privilege of working with individuals that inspire me every single day. I spend as much with my team or more than my family, and so they do become my family. And I actually am from Minnesota, way up north. I grew up on a dairy farm. I know, I look like a farm kid, don't I? Now I'm about to blow your mind. I went to school to be an agricultural education teacher, so anybody know who Mr. Sigler is? He's the ag teacher, and he teaches those kids with the blue corduroy jackets. Yeah, I lived in mine for 4 years. I went to school to be an ag teacher. A lot of people don't think ag teachers look like me, and quite frankly, when you look at the yearbook, they don't. Which is probably why I work in nonprofit. I love being in the classroom when I get to do things like this. And actually, this has been my heart song. This has been my heartbeat, working with young people like you since I was 15. I went to a conference when I was 15, and they gave us a Northrop King seed book. Now, you probably don't know what that is, and I really didn't know what that is. I actually still don't know what they are. I just know they have little note pages in it, and there was a bunch of science that I didn't pay attention to, and a little bit of math, which who needs that, right? And but there was lines, and I could write. And I was listening to a speaker named Laura Klein, and she said, I want you to write down a goal, okay? I want you to write down that goal. And so I wrote it down, and they said, now I want you to tell me why. I want you to write down why it is you think you should do that. So I write it down. And I said, I want you to think really long and hard about maybe 2 or 3 things that you need to do to accomplish this goal. And last but not least, I would like you to write down when you would like to accomplish that. So I write it down. So okay, close the book. Close the book, put it inside your jacket. You know, a lot of things is that's what we do. We write down goals. We think about all the big things we want to do. Oh, I want to be the captain of the basketball team. I want to get straight A's. I want to grow up and be a doctor. When I was in 8th grade, when I was 8, I wanted to be a fire truck. I mean, dreams are big, people. So I write down this goal, whatever. As we're about ready to get on our way to go home, Laura says, stop. I want to challenge every single one of you. I want you to take that book out. So we take the book out. She's like, I want you to open up that page, and I want you to look at the goal you wrote down. And I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to envision accomplishing that goal. Doing the work to get there. Feeling what that success feels like. Doing the hard work. Understanding what failure feels like when you get there, and then getting back up and trying to figure it out. I want you to think about getting to that date and knocking it out of the park because you succeeded at something you wanted. Now I want you to go home, and I want you to tell somebody, anybody, but somebody who will care about what it is you want to accomplish, and they will help you. And I was like, whoa, lady, back up the truck. That is not how this works. I'm 15, I'm super awkward. Like, seriously, I wasn't always this cool. Anyway, okay, fair enough, I was. Anyway, no, they wanted you to go home and be vulnerable with someone and tell them what it was you wanted to be. And I remember I was like, okay. Sarah, do you remember when you came home and told your parents, so I think I'm going to buy a bowling alley and I'm going to open up a gym? I can only imagine what Lyle and Kurt, but it was like, So really, have you watched the 1980s movie Money Pit? Do you understand? Okay, so Tom Cruise is not coming through to save you, right? So they thought you'd lost your record, especially because you're super educated, right? Like you have lots of degrees. You're not what we would call stupid. Okay, you're really accomplished. She's really incredibly accomplished, way more accomplished than I will ever be. That's why I call her my friend, and then I just talk about her a lot. Anyway, like we hang out all the time. She trained me once. She made me puke. She made me so hard. Anyway, she's awesome. That you're gonna love it. Anyway, so that was a big ballsy dream, and she had to come home and she had to tell her family, this is what I want to do. What's really cool is her family got behind her because her dad did a ton of the work on the gym and her mom watched the kids, and it's all great. So I came home, and my parents were sitting at the table having 3 o'clock coffee before we go to the barn, and I said, so they were like, how was Green Hand Day? I'm like, oh, I wrote this thing out, and I said to them, so I want to be a motivational speaker. Kid you not. My mom said, huh. So last week, you wanted to be a veterinarian. And this week, your math teacher told us you were failing. So, speaker, huh? And I was like, yeah, I think so. Huh. And Mike's like, well, if someone would pay you to shut up, it would be really great. The thing about it was I was 15. And my parents saw me find something that I loved. And I spent nights writing out outlines and researching quotes and researching people that I'll never be, and talking to myself in the mirror. And I remember one of the first gigs I got, it was a school, and I called them and said, I just think I have a message that people want to hear. And they said, what? And I'm like, I just think they're worth a good day. And at 15, I know that. And at 16 and 17, most kids don't. And I remember when I went off to do this, I wanted to make them quote books because I was writing quotes on all the time. And I ran off these pages on my mom's printer, page after page after page after page, and then I cut them out by hand in quarter folds, and then I hand punched them with quarter, and I put the cover on, and then it would be just so. And my mom went around the living room with me hundreds of times, putting these little paper, just having them just so, and they had to be just so. Just so, because I have been particular, apparently, my entire life. And it slowly grew, and she watched me practice. And the thing is, I am going to be 41 tomorrow. And I started that dream when I was 15. 15. I decided that I had something to share with the world. How many of you think your voice is worth listening to? How many of you think that you have something to say or something to share? How many of you think you're going to change the world? Right? So Amber raised her hand. It's Amber, right? She raised her hand because, wow, you're both Ambers. Because she's like, I've lived a life and I know that I'm going to change the world. She's raising girls. She's changing the world.
I'm also Amber.
Whoa. No one's ever Maile, except for that one that is, but she was not born that way. It's her birthday tomorrow too, by the way. Anyway, here's the thing. I didn't have a perfect life, folks. I grew up in a single-parent home where my mom instilled beautiful dreams into me. She actually taught me that I could do whatever I wanted, and that didn't matter. I could do whatever a guy did, and that included literally standing and peeing. She was really glad I got past that stage really fast. She let me play football. She let me wrestle. She let me try things. She let me get hurt. She really wished I did better in math. She probably still to this day wishes I did better in math. Probably school in general. Don't be like me in school. But here's what I learned. When you really find the thing that makes your heart beat, it's going to scare you a lot. It's going to scare you. Because you have to be vulnerable with the world, and you have to say, look, I'm capable. I have something of value. I'm of value. And what I'm doing is important. I am important. See, I think in this world we've spent so much time trying to put things into a 10-second non-savable video or 140 characters, or we're just trying to live our highlight reel on Instagram, and we're trying to get likes. That we have stopped figuring out what makes our heart tick. What we want to be when we grow up, what we're passionate about, what we love, what we don't like, what we want to change. And we miss out on the fact that if those are the things that we're passionate about and we love, or the things that we want to change and we don't like and we can stop, then it's us that can do that. Because we're important. You know, we weren't put on this planet just to take up space. Although my brother, who will for a brief time be 2 years younger than me, will tell you that I was. Like I'm just this impossible bookend that sort of blocks a window because I'm so tall. No, I just, you know, there's going to be so many people that tell you you can't do things. So tonight, what I love about this program is literally is one of my favorite nights of the year, is when I get to come hang out with the ladies here. What I want you to hear is, not everyone's going to hand you out a North King's book and tell you to write down your dreams. But I'm going to tell you that I was about your age when someone said I could. So here I am giving you permission. I'm going to challenge you. Tonight you are going to learn new things. And you're going to challenge yourself. And you're going to try some things you might not like, and then you're going to try some things that might just be weird, and then you're going to try some things and you're going to laugh and have fun. But when you get down to the nitty-gritty, I want you to think about who you are and who you want you to be, who you want to be known for. And I want you to write it down somewhere. And I want you to think about what it is you want to do and why you want to do it, what you have to do to get there, and when you want to do that. And then I'm going to challenge you to share it with someone who cares. And now you might think, I am not going home to tell my mom and dad that I want to do this, though I think they'd want to hear. You might tell me, well, I'm going to tell my dog or my guinea pig or my cat. They are not people, even though you and I both know they are, okay? They're not qualified in this. So if you don't have that person at home, then I'm going to challenge you to find an adult. And I can tell you right now that there are at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably that lady over there. Well, my mom will talk your ear off, so she would totally do it. So you had 7 people in this room, 6, 7 people that would love to hear about what it is you want to accomplish and why and how we can help you. Because here's the thing. Sarah could be at home with her kiddos. My mom could be hanging out with her grandkid. Amber could be hanging out with her boys. They all smell though, so it's fine. She could be home with her kids. We're here because we believe in you. And ladies, you are the future. So I was fortunate enough to have someone who believed in me and stuck with me through the crazy. And it's the one dream, the one goal I never gave up on. I wanted to be a veterinarian. I wanted to be a teacher. I went to school to be a teacher. I wanted to be a lot of things, but everything came back to me being able to connect with people and help them create something that mattered. So tonight I'm challenging you. I want you to know that you're important. I want you to know that you aren't just this impossible bookend. The world really needs your talent. They need your smile, they need your insight, they need your goofy thoughts, and they need your, I don't know, probably incomplete sentences as well, okay? But who you are is important. Not a single one of you could disappear tomorrow without being missed. Okay? So tonight, I want you to embrace the challenges that are coming your way, because Sarah's here, so there's bound to be some. And then my girls are going to take you through a really kind of cool exercise back there, Abby and Elizabeth. I'm at the Leadership Center, okay? I'm not real far away. I'm on social media. You'll get all of our contact a little bit later. You can literally show up at the front desk and say, hey, you were that lady that talked at that thing, and I'll be like, I don't know which thing that was, and I'm probably was the lady, but I would love to hear from you. So if I can invest in your dreams, I want to. But if you take away anything tonight, it's that you are a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful happy incident, and I am so glad that I had the chance to meet you. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you took time to invest in who you are. It's the first step. And I just want you to know that you're wonderful. You're wonderfully and fearfully and beautifully made. And I'm so glad you're here. The last thing I'm going to leave you with is, what are we, in 8th grade? 8th grade? Feels like you know everything, don't you? And it feels like you're not getting anywhere at all fast, right? You're moving through life at a glacial pace. Well, we all get 24 hours every day, okay? And before you know it, you're gonna be a senior, and none of us are ready for that, but you will. And then before you know it, you're gonna have kids and things like this, right? If you want to. So take the time to enjoy nights like this. And when you have opportunities like this, I just encourage you to take them. And never stop believing. Your life is your masterpiece, and I'm just gonna challenge you right now to autograph it with excellence. And I thank you very much for your time tonight, and have a blast. And again, I realize I have to jet, but I truly, truly, truly would come back and spend all the time you want. So don't hesitate to come find me. I love this. We've been doing this how many years now? 4?
This is the
Fifth.
but we didn't have it
Right,
last
so
year.
4th one, and I think I've had girls out of every group come see me. And I love it. Actually, I have a couple of them working for me now, so that's super exciting. You're incredible, and you're gonna change the world. And I can't wait to see it. So thank you. Thank you in advance for all the work you're gonna do. And thank you